down the lane.
Sowers is back, reaches up, and it's a grand slam for De La Salle.
All alone. Scott got it. Great hook by Coach Stick to break down the defense.
Lucas Oil Stadium, downtown Indianapolis, is where we put the wraps officially on the fall sports campaign. Seems like just a few days ago. Winter sports in full swing now, and we have a high school basketball doubleheader for you. From North Putnam High School, the northern part of Putnam County, I'm Mark James along with Mike Malinsky. Welcome to a boys-girls doubleheader. Ladies are first. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Boca. Grab your boats and get wet. By eShield, providing security protection for your home or business. Ready to help, E-Tex, ready to help you with all of your computer and technology needs. Again, Mike Walensky with me tonight. And Mike, let's talk about your keys to the matchup, and then we'll introduce folks to the starting lineup.
Well, first of all, this ball game, defensive transition is incredibly important because North Putnam and the Cougars have been prone to turning the ball over. Offensive execution will be very important for North Putnam in this ball game. For South Putnam, if they can get 50-50 balls and control the boards, they've got a chance. We look back at November 19th, South Putnam 56, North Putnam 39 in the cancellation game in the Putnam County tournament. So South Putnam has an edge coming to this one.
And starting in the middle, Bree Miller. You see her with the first two there for the North Putnam Cougars at 5'10", just a freshman. She'll be joined by 13, Bailey Osborne, along with Peyton Lyons at 5'7", and a senior. Dana Tennis, a 5'4" junior, and Kyla Willis will run the point. She's a 5'3" freshman, wears number 25. South Putnam with their first opportunity with the basketball. Chloe Custis going to put up the shot, and she's going to knock it down. A three-pointer by Chloe Custis, the 5'6" sophomore, gets their scoring underway. She's joined by Bratcher, also Lexi Vanahel, Caitlin Capps, and Macy Bumgartner. Pretty even in terms of the size disparity between the two basketball teams. North Putnam Cougars with a record of 2-5 coming into play. South Putnam 4-3. Brian Gardner guiding the fortunes for the Eagles in his fourth season at 49-32. Jared Duff been here for 3 years, 11-42. He's building though. Spent 4 years at Greencastle, got better every year there. Finished up with an overall record of 55-86 coming into play tonight. Misfire, the rebound by Lexi Vanderhill.
Again, transition is very important in this basketball game for North Putnam. They're not a good shot-making ball club, and they've got to get on the boards. You see here early on in this ball game, South Putnam doing a good job getting those 50-50 balls. And speaking of South Putnam, Mark, Brian Gardner's ball club was on fire last year. They were 19-6. They won the sectional against a very good Cascade team, but then lost in regionals, so that success breeds success for them.
Stops, pops, and a little 12-footer from a nice-looking basketball player. Lexi Vanderhill, the 5'4" junior, on the board with her first two.
And Vandahill's key to this ball club because early on in the season, she had an ankle injury, was out in the first game, lost to Cloverdale. When she's back, she can score, averaging over 13.
North Putnam not shy with taking the three. Dana Tennis misfires, baseline left in transition. Come the Eagles. They appear to be forcing the tempo a bit, seem to be comfortable doing so.
And they do so because they average nearly 60 points a game, whereas North Putt is only averaging about 35 points a game coming into this ball game.
Peyton Lyons going to pick up the personal. That'll be her first. 4-3 on the season, as we mentioned. Brian Gardner, 19-6 a year ago, 15-11 and 11-12. We'll talk as the night progresses about some of the instability they had in the program at North Putnam before Brian Gardner arrived. As Chloe Custis sinks the first of her two opportunities.
Chloe Custis is shooting 63% from the foul line, and as a team, they've shot fairly well this year. One
thing North Putnam needs to get cleaned up, they've struggled with early, is giving South Putnam second and third opportunities.
Good job underneath by Bailey Osborne, number 13 for North Putt, blocking out inside. Cougars get the ball back.
Eagles bring the pressure. And once the ball inbounds, a little easier path to the front court by Dana Tennis. Nice crowd starting to file in. There's an adjacent gym where the JV games are being played tonight. I like these girls and boys doubleheaders. the Western Indiana Conference for years. North Putnam, South Putnam, members of the West Central Conference, which was one of the best football conferences in the state of Indiana at one time. Tri-West was a part of that conference. Dick Renard's teams at Owen Valley and Edgewood were part of that conference, and Danville was part of that conference years ago. It's no longer in existence, which is kind of sad, but all of the schools found a home. Monrovia, a member of that conference now in the ICC, and Cascade will leave this conference and join the ICC, which geographically makes a bit more sense considering Cascade's about 25 miles west of Indianapolis along US 40. But one thing's for sure, the schools in this conference log some miles.
There's no question about it. Although these two teams are awfully close to one another. And again, good defensive effort early on this ball game for the Cougars. If they're going to compete, they're going to have to keep this ball game at the half court, play really solid defense. The Cougars don't score many points.
Dana Tennis has not shot. She's not found the range yet, but I'm telling you, you better get a hand up because she's loaded up about the time she gets the basketball. Brianna Eagle, we should say, comes into the ball game along with Mahoney Sutherland for South Putnam.
Kyla Willis, number 25 for North Putt. The leading scorer, she's averaging just 8 points a ball game. They have to be very sound with the basketball, make good decisions here.
Early advantage for the Eagles, paced by second and third opportunities. That's a strong move to the bucket by Kyla Willis.
And it's good to see Willis taking the ball to the hole. She had no help from the backside. She made him pay. Good defense on the wing there by the Cougars.
And the worst rule in all of sports is put on display. Alternating possession on the held ball. I don't like it, Mike. You're punishing the defense every other time you blow the whistle.
Willis playing very strong defense on the wing for North Putnam. Again, one of the things about Coach Gardner's ball club, they can really make things happen defensively. They can put full court pressure on you, play zone, play man-to-man. There's just a reach-in foul on the backside.
It's been a pretty clean game for the most part in terms of fouls committed. Chloe Custis picks up the personal. That's her first.
She just let the ball handler get behind her and used her hands to draw the foul.
Third three-point attempt. Same result for Dana Tennis. Quickly in transition, Custis. No. This time North Putt controls the board. Nice job of spinning out of the double team by Bailey Osborne.
One thing South Putnam recognizes, when they get the ball on the rebound, they're going to push the ball into transition, try to get some easy baskets. You can see North Putt trying to clear the wings, trying to get those shots from the perimeter. Their game will be if they can put points on the board from the outside.
Tennis hanging around the baseline. Again, she's 0 of 3 from beyond the arc here in the first quarter. I just like the way they use the bounce pass. Pretty sound fundamental game. You know, athletically, they can't play around the rim, Mike, so they just really have to work hard on those fundamentals. Passing, by and large, is what I prefer to see. That's a nice bounce pass on the entry. Now, she didn't finish, but I think you got to be happy with that if you're North Putnam. That was a pretty good offensive set.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. Miller had a nice shot over the top, right at the elbow, and again, good fundamental. It's inside for South Putnam, blocking out and getting the rebound.
Good strong move inside. A misfire by Bree Mahoney Sutherland. North Putnam with a chance to tie now.
Good job by Willis trying to make the defense work there. Number 25 drawing the foul. It's an interesting matchup between Kyla Willis up top, number 25, and Chloe Custis, the sophomore guard, number 4, for the Eagles.
Caitlin Capps called for the bump. Macy Bumgardner comes back into the ball game among the substitutions for the Eagles. Early game, always a feeling out process, but South Putnam dials up the defense as North Putnam tries to get comfortable in that half court. entertained thoughts of a deep three to Chloe Custis. They misfire from the other wing, and the rebound comes down to the North Putnam Cougars. Bree Miller controls. Clarissa Gibson, one of those that stepped in during the stoppage in play. The running one-hander by Bree Miller is a no-go. North Putnam, sure, a little frustrated, Mike, because they're getting good looks.
Yeah, they are, and they're trying to get the ball inside out, which is a good sign for this ball club. Bree Mahoney Sutherland playing some good solid defense inside for South Putnam, but Miller getting a couple looks inside, not having them fall early on. And for the road ball club, they need to get the ball falling in the hole here.
Both teams dialing up things on the defensive end. Trying to make that pass through too many hands, and Bree Miller grabbed the carom. She wants to run in transition, has to pull up after she lost control of the basketball. Little running 15-footer is a no-go by Clarissa Gibson in transition. Quickly come the South Putnam Eagles. Little poke of the eye, a contested lay-in, knocked out of bounds, and it'll stay with South Putnam.
Osborne's been very good defensively as she has the block there, as Chloe Custis is going down the baseline to try to score. So good defensive effort.
Clarissa Gibson took a shot. She's trying to collect herself. And Peyton Lyons will come back into the ball game, and the injured Cougar will go visit with the trainer. Look at that wall screen right at the free throw line. The wide open three is no good. Good hustle tracking down her rebound. Stops and pops from 5, no good. Lexi Vanderhill with a couple of point blank looks. One from 3 and one inside. Couldn't get either to fall.
Bumgarner did a really good job, Mark, blocking out there, number 23 for South Putt. She's the leading scorer for the Eagles, averaging 9.2 points a game. She also averages nearly 6 rebounds for the Eagles.
Clarissa Gibson with the foul. That is her second. Third on the South Putnam Eagles. Again, 6-4. You would think if you didn't see the score at the bottom of your screen, you were simply watching, that South Putnam would have a wider advantage than that. But North Putnam's hanging around, and credit their defense for that.
And they're not turning the ball over. They're handling the ball with efficiency. They're valuing the basketball. And Miller doing a good job releasing that pass there. Nice.
That's a good look. That's good two-person basketball. And they set up Kyla Willis. She has 5 of her ball club's 7 points.
They have trust in her. She's their leading scorer, averaging 8 points a ball game.
Just a freshman. Time winding down on the Eagles. Steele. In transition at the buzzer, and it goes.
Wow, she let it go right on time. And I wonder if she had a sense of where the clock was. Great job of finishing.
7 first quarter points for the freshman Kyla Willis, and after they trailed seemingly forever, 6-4 throughout most of that first quarter, they closed with a 3-point advantage, 9-6 at the end of period 1. They hung around, and their defense is wide.
Great defense and good ball efficiency. Solid team play.
Timeout on the floor. We'll be back with second quarter action.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Mark Janes, Mike Walensky, North Putnam High School. Boy, the years that I've been coming here, Mike, as I mentioned one time, member of the West Central Conference along with my alma mater, Monrovia High School, and the football program for years has been so solid here, going all the way back to the 80s with Gene Rowe. And then, of course, more recently with Dave Pash, who's been at Lutheran for a number of years, and then Greg Barrett had some great teams here. Brian Crabtree took over for a year before Coach Barrett came back. But the Dahlstrom family obviously had players going to Indiana University. I mean, just a great tradition here in all athletics as we get the second quarter started now with Alex Bratcher going to the line for the and-one opportunity.
Tremendous job of finishing there by Alex Bratcher, the junior guard. Good body control for the three-point play.
She gets it, the old-fashioned trifecta, her first 3 of the evening, and we are tied at 9. North Putnam finishes with a bit of a flurry thanks to Kyla Willis, who ended up with 7 of their 9 in the first quarter. Precarious place for one to pick up the dribble for sure. Bree Miller with the good entry pass, but she couldn't hold on to it. I like the second chance points that South Putnam's getting. They really crashed the boards.
There's no doubt about it. There's not a block out inside the lane, and South Putnam got the basketball, but North Putnam quit hands defensively to turn it over.
North Putt beat Crawfordsville 40-34, beat Covington 36-33, opened the season with a tough loss at North Vermillion 43-42.
Great job by Miller being intentional, going down the baseline to score. They've got to get production from inside from her.
A bucket in each quarter for her now, 4 total, 2-point lead for the Cougars. Errant pass, hauled in by Willis. She'll let the traffic clear and walk it up.
Good job by Hannah Sims, number 3, defensively, cutting off the baseline.
Misfire on the 3. Not sure that Peyton Lyons necessarily had her feet set. Don't know that they would be happy with that shot in the scope of their offense. And it looks like Bailey Osborne was a little overzealous defensively. She'll pick up the personal. Coming up for North Putnam, mentioned their wins over Crawfordsville and Covington, losses to Greencastle and South Putnam in the Putnam County tournament, a loss to South Vermillion and a loss to Cloverdale. So they've lost 4 in a row and would like to reverse their fortunes here tonight against their cross-county rival.
A lot of pressure being applied full court by the visiting Eagles in this ball game.
5'4" junior Hannah Sims looking a little unsure of herself as she brings it across the timeline, and Willis is there to rescue her. Nice pass fake. It reverses the defense just a little bit, and just like that, the errant pass by Hannah Sims is picked off by South Putnam in a foul in transition.
I got to tell you, Mark, defensively, Caitlin Capps, number 33 for South Putnam, does a very good job in that possession, taking away the post from Miller, denying her the pass as they were beginning to trust getting the ball inside, and good defensive effort by the Eagles.
Dana Tennis among those returning for North Putnam. Kyla Willis going to take a break. Pressure on the diagonal pass. I like the way North Putnam's dialed up their defense from about the midway point of the second quarter on. A missed and one opportunity, but a strong move by Caitlin Capps.
On the perimeter, North Putt is doing a lot of switching and confusing, I think, the Eagles in their offensive approach and putting a lot of pressure around the perimeter, where once, as we started the ball game, they had some nice looks from outside the three-point line. That's tightened up.
That's a strong move inside of the finish.
That's why you go inside the Caps.
Our first 2 ties it up at 11. Let's see how they're able to handle things with Kyla Willis on the bench. I got to believe that they're not going to leave her there too long.
No, and Lexi Vanderhill does a good job. She's a lot longer out on top than Dana Tennis and forces Tennis to turn the basketball over. Good job by number 21.
Capps throws it over the rim. Weak side rebound to South Putnam. Again, they're loading up on the second chance opportunities in this ball game. I think had that call gone the other way, no one could have complained.
No.
Sims was in pretty good position. Looked like she beat her to the spot. A lot of contact there. That call could have gone either way. Clarissa Gibson returns for North Putnam. That'll put Hannah Sims on the sidelines. An ill-advised pass on the inbounds. They were looking baseline left and just wasn't a good angle, wasn't a clean look for Lexi Vanderhill, and it skipped off her shoe tops and out of bounds. Full court pressure by the Eagles. Cougars bring it. Interesting to see. Overall, very clean basketball game. Not a lot of errors early. Most of them unforced, but always anxious to see boys early on. Might have gotten away with a walk. And a 13-footer, no good. North Putnam with a second chance opportunity. And we'll tie it up again. They're getting more aggressive on both ends of the floor of the Cougars.
You bet. Kinsey Young doing a nice job there, number 11, going after the basketball for the tie-up, and the shot fake there by Clarissa Gibson. You mentioned the possible travel, but she did execute that and got a nice look, and they get the basketball back on that. That's a call again.
Custis and Baumgartner return. That ball was tipped, so she could chase it down to the backcourt, which she does. Not a good move to pick up her dribble, but Bailey Osborne bails her out. It's a nice move.
Great shot by Osborne over the top of Baumgartner. Very important for the Cougars to get that basket because they weren't very efficient early on in the possession up top by those guards. They're having trouble with the pressure.
Quick steal by Clarissa Gibson in the open floor to Tennis. Too short off the iron. Now the Eagles going to get out and run.
That's a challenge she's got to learn at some point to use the left hand. She's so focused on that right hand and cost her a bucket there.
Clarissa Gibson. Took that shot to the nose in the first quarter. That's what you see. Plugged up in the right nostril there.
Already the 7th team foul, drawing the bonus here. South Putnam being very aggressive, going to the basket here. Guards playing very well.
Chloe Custis missed the back half of a 2-shot foul earlier, misfires on the front half of the 1-and-1. That's just something you have to be good at on your own. All coaches spend time on it in practice, but you got to put in the extra time. North Putnam is getting themselves in precarious positions by picking up their dribble at the worst time and dribbling too much for that matter.
Yes, they are. They're having problems out top, and the pressure is getting to them. And once again, Chloe Custis, number 4, made them pay.
A steal in the finish for Custis. 6 points in the ball game for her. Tied at 13, 3:39 mark. We'll be back.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
We mentioned the stability that Jared Duff has added here in his 3rd year at the school. Back in 2016, Kevin Casaro was the head coach, went 3-20. Jim Spencer prior to that in 15 was 5-17. And then Curtis Lawrence was here for 2 years, going 4-15 and 4-17. It takes some time to build it, and it's tough on the program when over the course of 4 years, 5 years, you've had 4 or 5 different coaches.
No doubt. You've got to have momentum, and it's got to start with some wins over some of your rivals. And you mentioned the success North Putnam's had over the years with football and the success for Coach Gardner's club with South Putnam has now brought more success to their ball club. Even though a lot of their seniors graduated from last year's ball club, these youngsters are playing fairly well in tonight's ball game.
Tied at 13. Cougars with the possession. I like Dana Tennis. She's got some confidence with the basketball. Not good position on the rebound by Young, and she's called for the foul. We talked about the football pedigree at North Putnam. South Putnam's not been bad. You know, Mark Wildman, of course, Troy Burgess. And how about Troy Burgess?
Troy Burgess, yeah.
Troy Burgess was football coach and basketball coach for a period of time at South Putnam. Because of family commitments, he leaves coaching altogether for 4 years, becomes athletic director, then decides to get back into coaching and takes Evansville Central to a state championship game. And I tell you, if you've not met him within 5 minutes, you're going to love him. Just a happy-go-lucky guy, but one whale of a football coach. Came up a little short in a phenomenal game, but a lot of folks around this area very, very happy for Troy Burgess.
I think Troy's touch is gold. He was a very good high school basketball player as well at Newcastle. Also football, played with Steve Alford, so everywhere he goes, he's successful.
I remember saying to him at the coaches meeting, I said, why Evansville Central? He goes, that job was open. I don't have any family down there, don't have any connections there. His job was open, they hired me. So I did ask him, and this is no slight to South Putnam kids because he's had some good ones there for sure, but I said, Jeff, take a couple different looks at your stopwatch when you start timing 40. He goes, yeah, there's a little more quickness at Evansville Central, but I'm telling you, man, his kids at South Putnam were as tough can be, and they still are for sure.
Nice defensive effort there by South Putnam. Chloe Custis getting in, or Alex Bratcher getting into the lane there for the steal.
It's a nice move by Chloe Custis, just couldn't get it to finish. I like Custis, she has some length. Deceptively strong around the bucket for sure.
She does have some length, and that allows her to play solid defense as you take a look at her work in the backcourt against number 3, Hannah Sims.
Sims look a little more confident in terms of running the offense this time up the floor.
Good help by Vanderhill coming across to double up Miller, not giving her the shot.
Again, North Putnam getting good, strong, open looks, and they're just not able to convert them. Chloe Custis with the theft, and she'll run it in transition. Pretty nice job of filling the lane, but North Putt gets back, sets up defensively. The misfire by Custis for 3.
Bree Mahoney Sutherland, number 40, with her second rebound in the ball game. They got a nice look there.
Alex Bratcher, 8 points now in the first half for Alex Bratcher. 5-point lead for South Putnam. Be patient if you're North Putnam. Again, you're getting good looks. Eventually, they're going to start to fall. You got to take that to the bucket, Mike. You got it. You can't.
You bet.
You can't settle for the 9-footer there. I mean, you got bailed out with a foul, but you have to take that to the bucket if you're Bree Miller.
And chances are you're going to get some contact. You are going to get some contact either way, either driving the ball to the basket or once you go up for the score. But Miller's got a chance here to knock down a couple.
Just a freshman, so she'll learn that as she plays more. And again, neither team. Carnies wouldn't have to worry at the fair, would they? The way they're shooting free throws so far. Miller sinks the back half. 5.5, 4-point lead now. Just South Putnam all in all, I hope I don't jinx them here. Just seem to, and I was going to say they look a bit more confident offensively, but that they would not point to that particular series of events to reaffirm that observation. They just seem to be just a little bit stronger too.
You bet. And Kinsey Young did a nice job there defensively as she checks out of the game for Bailey Osborne, and Bumgardner has not been much of a factor in this first half offensively. She did try to score on the previous possession. Didn't work for her.
Tyler Willis with foul issues has 7 points in the first quarter, and she has spent most, if not all, of this quarter on the bench, and yet the Cougars find themselves within striking distance. She just can't find it. Dana Tennis, 4 attempts from beyond the arc and has not been close on any of them.
Miller, nice job, post defense. Nice job by Miller.
Good job of Hannah Sims sensing the pressure, but again, that pressure is relentless on the part of South Putnam.
And maybe an adjustment might be at some point setting a high screen there for those guards as they're having trouble on an island handling the basketball by themselves, creating too many turnovers, although North Putt's Kyla Willis checks in the ball game. She's done a really good job handling the ball when she's been in the
Jared
contest.
Duff said he's seen enough. I mean, he wants her on the floor for the final minute. As we mentioned, 7 first quarter points for her. And the woes continue from both teams on the free throw line, and we've got the alternating possession rule out of bounds to North Putnam. Pretty good pace to this first half.
Yeah, I think that favors South Putnam, actually.
Really good defense down low. But again, South Putnam with several second and third chance opportunities. This is a 4th look this time down the floor, and almost a 5th. I'm sure that Jared Duff will address the lack of boxing out on the defensive end when he heads to the locker room here in less than a minute. See what Willis can do now that she's back in the ball game.
And if they want, they can hold on to the basketball and take the last shot. But I tell you, South Putnam, the Eagles are really coming after them defensively, trying to force the turnover.
Match it up pretty well. North Putnam being very patient here. Into the hands of the one that I would think they would want to have it, Kyla Willis, but she gives it up and runs baseline. They want to screen for her.
And they can do so effectively, but they stepped out of bounds, it looks like, Mark. Here's a turnover.
Yeah, Dana Tennis did not realize where she was in terms of the sidelines, and she stepped out. Now, just to keep her from picking up that 3rd foul, great bit of coaching here by Jared Duff. Willis can't really do anything defensively but commit the foul, so he gets her out of the ball game. We'll see what the Eagles can do here with time winding down. Great defense by North Putnam. And they will not get a shot off. So, halftime of this one, after the North Putnam Cougars, behind the 7 points of Kyla Willis, jumped out to a 9-6 first quarter lead. South Putnam dials it up defensively. It also finds a bit more consistency offensively, and they go to the intermission with a lead of 18-14. We are at halftime here. Again, your score, 18-14, first half of our doubleheader at North Putnam High School.
Worried your family isn't protected at home? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eShield Security Solutions. With Endeavor eShield Security Solutions, peace of mind comes from knowing your family and your business are safe. We also provide internet, television, wireless, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people. Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Again? I'm going to miss the big game.
Troubled by your TV provider? Endeavor is here with eTV. With Endeavor's television service, there's no need to worry about a thunderstorm or whether your satellite dish is pointed in the right direction. We also provide internet, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Home of the Cougars got to take a little trip up Pat Rady Way to get to North Putnam High School. Pat, of course, the longtime legendary high school basketball coach. Coaching stops, retired from Cloverdale. His son Patrick, of course, the outstanding head coach there now. Prior to that, Terre Haute South, where he coached Steve Hart and Brian Evans and so many others. Was at Winchester, Shelbyville, but coached once upon a time in Bainbridge, Indiana, which you drive through to get here. And Coach Larry Steele there, who played on the 1977 NBA championship team of the Portland Trail Blazers with Bill Walton. And you and I both know Pat very well. Pat's been a friend of ours for a number of years, and they don't come any classier than Pat Rady for sure.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, not only just classy, but just an astute student of the game of basketball and committed to the well-being of young people, which is ultimately what this is all about.
I mean, once upon a time when I was doing bowl games in Terre Haute, Indiana, Pat Rady was at South, Jim Jones was at North, Steve DeGroat at West Vigo, John Crooks at Northview. You had Herschel Allen down at Shakamak. You had Joe Hart coaching. You had Dave Clark with his great teams at White River Valley, and then they got to square off against Dan Bush and his teams from Bedford North Lawrence with Damon Bailey, and then, of course, the teams that Mike Broughton had at Jeffersonville and so on and so forth. And what a glorious time it was in high school basketball, most assuredly. The pep band from North Putnam entertaining, but the first half has been pretty entertaining as well, Mike. South Putnam got off to a pretty fast start, as we're seeing.
They did get off to a fast start because they were shooting the ball pretty well, as you see here. On the right side, Vanderhill gets a point, and they were getting some shots in transition. But then, all of a sudden, I thought North Putnam did a pretty good job defensively and started making some shots of their own. And there's one of them, the young guard from the outside, number 25, Kyla Willis, is their leading scorer. And defensively, both teams sort of found their rhythm as the game progressed. But I thought that South Putnam, the Eagle defense, dictated things in the first half for the most part. And North Putnam's going to have to find a way to take some pressure off the backcourt because South Putnam's guards did a real good job pressuring the basketball.
Well, their points primarily coming from two sources, and Kyla Willis and Bree Miller talking about North Putnam. Meanwhile, Bratcher and Chloe Custis getting the brunt of the scoring opportunities for South Putnam. But if we go back and look at North Putnam as we assess their first half of action, Mike, let's face it, they had some wide open looks. Dana Tennis is, I think, unofficially 0 of 4 from beyond the arc, and they had a lot of wide open looks between, from 4 to 5 feet around the bucket, and just for whatever the reason, just couldn't get it to fall. You'd expect to get better bounces than that at home.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a matter of confidence. If they can get a few to fall early on in the second half, maybe they can get on a roll like a snowball. They can move quickly forward, but they've got to be intentional about getting the ball inside. And I think Bree Miller can get the job done. She's shown us the ability to score inside and not be afraid at times to shoot the basketball.
Yeah, the one, there's no doubt. It appears as though that there are two or three people, Caitlin Capps in addition to Custis and Bratcher and Vanderhill, that are able of filling it up for South Putnam when they need the help. Kyla Willis has got to have some help more consistently offensively for North Putnam.
Yeah, and North Putnam is not a team, at least early on in this season, that has potential to score 50, 60 points a ball game. And they need to be intentional with getting the ball inside and getting good shots. And much like any other high school basketball game, as this game progresses, teams will get tired, meaning get the ball to the rim and get to the foul line. You get to the foul line, get to the rim, you got a chance to win the ball game.
Again, Alex Bratcher leads the way with 8 for South Putnam. Chloe Custis was 6 on the other side for North Putnam. Bree Miller has 5. Kyla Willis leads the way. She had 7 first quarter points. North Putnam led 9-6 at the end of 1. Your score at halftime, 18-14 in favor of South Putnam.
Keep up to date with your favorite high school, college, and semi-professional teams on the ISC Sports app. Download it today from the App Store, Google Play, or on Roku. The ISC Sports Network. Local lives here.
Not getting their messages? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eWireless. Endeavor Communications combines the nation's largest 4G LTE network with friendly hometown service, so you'll always be connected to your kids. We also provide internet, television, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Well, Saturday, December 8th, the ISC Sports Network will be broadcasting the Forum Tip-Off Classic from historic Southport High School. Teams include, of course, the host Southport, Frankton, Carmel, Jeffersonville, Brownsburg, Newcastle, Hamilton Southeastern, Culver Academies, Cathedral, Zionsville, Center Grove, and La Lumiere, with the first game tipping off at noon. How are we doing for that lineup, Mike Walensky?
That's a tremendous lineup. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I'd love to be able to see La Lumiere play with so many top-notch basketball prospects, and they're not just local or regional prospects. They are national prospects that the Dukes and the Kentuckys and the Thoroughbreds are all trying to get after. Great opportunity to see some real good basketball.
So, again, your keys to this second half for each ball club.
Well, I think in this basketball game for North Putnam, get the ball inside. And from that standpoint, that means get the basketball to the rim so you can get to the foul line. For South Putnam, I think take advantage of transition. They can turn the ball over, and they've got to score.
Well, Willis was able to stay out of dire foul trouble. They managed her pretty well down the stretch. She goes to the bucket with some authority, but has the ball knocked away on the release. But North Putnam, as you see, will keep possession. I think Bree Miller could assert herself offensively.
There
and
it
does
is.
to start the quarter.
Great job for Miller, and even though they lost that first game earlier in the year, it's a little bit easier to play the second game. Plus, you're on your home court.
That running 7-footer, good enough to get them within 2 at the start of the third quarter. Appears as though that they've been instructed to dial up the defensive intensity during the stoppage in play. Might have been a shuffle of the feet by Chloe Custis. She got by with it, but threw it up a little short. Willis, just a freshman, nice-looking player. Handles the ball with a lot of confidence, and the woes continue from beyond the arc.
Yeah, tough shot
Dana
by Tennis. Tough shot by Tennis. Probably not a shot you want to take that early in the possession and that far away from the bucket. Percentages go way down.
Well, and I think as a foul is committed, as the strong moves attempted by Macy Bumgardner, Mike, it's always been my feeling, and I think most coaches, that when you're struggling from the field, instead of just continuing to launch, maybe put it on the floor, get to the bucket, get to the line, and then maybe get yourself calmed down with some free throws. But I will say this. She has full confidence in that shot, does Dana Tennis, because she has launched it from a variety of spots on the floor.
Here's a player that South Putnam really needs scoring from. Bumgardner is shooting 49% from the field. She's got great shot selection. Finally gets on the board there with a foul shot.
Hits the back half of the 2 and bumps the lead back to 3. And Willis, just a freshman. Plays with so much poise and confidence. And it's all the basketball they play now. I think even when you get to deep into the tournament, it always amazes me, boys and girls, to see the contributions of freshmen. Yet another miss by Dana Tennis. Clearly she has the green light from Jared Duff, because she is not hesitating regardless of the woes that she's having. The rebound shot is blocked away on the attempt by Macy Bumgardner.
Haley Osborne's played some pretty good defense inside, number 13 on that shot block. And effort has to come from North Putnam, because I don't think they have the capacity to score in the same way South Putnam does from the perimeter.
The inbound pass could not be handled by Alex Bratcher, and it'll go back to North Putnam. First of two tonight. Boys action will cap off this doubleheader as a nice crowd continues to file in for this Putnam County rivalry. Strong move to the bucket, too strong. Rebound shot won't go. Couple of point blank looks again by North Putnam and an empty possession.
Well, I thought Miller would be able to convert that one. She got a little bit too overzealous and put the ball up very quickly. Didn't understand where she was on the court.
Vanderhill, strong finish, 4 points for her.
Yeah, nice job of looking up and seeing the basketball, or seeing the basket by number 21, Vanderhill. Good
Bumps
vision.
the lead up to 5. Great defense, quick hands. Quick hands to South Putnam on the alternating possession.
Tough chance by Willis there. She made the turn and forgot to put her body in front of the ball, and good effort by South Putnam getting on the floor to tie it up.
Jared Duff with the arms folded in frustration looked on. Great ball rotation. Good look from 3. It can't go much deeper without falling through. Well-designed play for South Putnam, just couldn't get the finish. I like the way they picked up the defensive pressure. One too many steps. Right idea. Something got lost in the execution, though, by Peyton Lyons.
I think she's heard some footsteps coming from the weak side there and took that extra step, unfortunately.
That's good two-person basketball.
Nice shooting. They tried to double up on Bumgardner. They do not want her scoring the basketball, but she made her pay with a nice pass.
8 points the lead now for South Putnam. It's an important time for North Putnam to not let them get too far away. A look by Kyla Willis came up a little too short. Eagles in transition. She dribbled it off her foot out of bounds. Alex Bratcher.
Boy, that's another unforced turnover you don't want to have, but it's going to happen. You got to forget about it. You have to have amnesia, as they say, and just forget about that and refocus defensively back in the ball game.
Brianna Egold and Bree Mahoney Sutherland in for South Putnam. Brian Gardner went pretty deep into his bench in the first half, and he's doing that about the midway point of the third quarter. Good crossover move. Willis misses, tries to track down the rebound and sees it go out of bounds. Nice to know that she's in the fold for a couple of more years.
The Eagles with an 8-point lead now. This basket is very important for them. That 10-point margin is more psychological than anything else in this contest.
That is a deep 3. 14 for Alex Bratcher, and Jared Duff wants to take a timeout. They've opened it up. Plus 11, 27-16. Third quarter action here from North Putnam High School.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Mercy. That is 3 and then some.
That was deep by Alex Bratcher. Now Bratcher, Mark, this year is the number 2 3-point shooter for the Eagles. She's shooting 7 out of 25, 28%. She missed the first couple. Boy, did she drain that one. That was what, 30 feet?
Every bit of that. And it was a no-doubter for sure.
And a big possession. Again, I talked about the mental aspect of being down by 10 points in a contest like this. This is a big one for the Eagles on the road.
South Putnam with a record of 4-3, wins over Park Heritage. Earlier win over North Putnam, Southmont, and South Vermillion. Losses to Cloverdale, Edgewood. Now lost to Cloverdale twice, in fact. As we mentioned, both schools in the Western Indiana Conference. In the Western Division, it is Greencastle, Northview, South Putt, Sullivan, West Vigo, and North Putt. In the Eastern Conference, it's Indian Creek, Owen Valley, Cloverdale, Brown County, Edgewood, and Cascade. Ball blocked away on the shot attempt by Miller. Macy Baumgartner owning the paint right now. Recent seasons versus South Putnam, talking about the North Putnam Cougars. In the last 5, North Putnam is 2-6. They beat South Putnam back in 13-14. They beat them 42-30 during the regular season, then 49-42 during sectional play. So the recent history has gone the way of the Eagles in this Putnam County matchup.
And I think right now they're doing it on the defensive end. They are really putting pressure on the ball and forcing the ball into the wing, as opposed to the, well, they've got the ball in the high post. This is where you can score.
Nice kick. I like her. I mean, she's gotten better this quarter, and she's certainly, Bree Miller is getting a little more forceful in the paint.
As long as North Putnam can get the ball in the middle of the court, they'll be fine. But when they get the ball into the wing, they've got problems.
Well, they struggle too when they dribble the basketball too much. I mean, they do have a pretty effective offense, but sometimes they get caught up in the dribble and they make themselves far too easy to defend.
There's a tough foul there on Caitlin Capps coming out and trying to defend the wing.
Again, Jared Duff in his third season, 11-42, 55-86 in 7 years on the sidelines. He's been 4 years as guiding the fortunes of the Greencastle Tiger Cubs here in Putnam County. From 16, no go by Willis, but a foul into the bucket. Going to go against South Putnam. Caitlin Capps going to be charged for pushing and shoving. Just like that, she will sit down in favor of Jersey Cruz.
Capps picks up another foul. 2 quick ones on the Eagles star. Nice pass.
Great inbounds pass. She threw it up a little too short, gets her own rebound, and finishes Bailey Osborne. 4 points for her now. 27-18.
Osborne had an average of just 3.3 coming in the ball game, so to get 4 is a good sign for Coach Duff's ball club.
Strong move, but unable to finish is Lexi Vanderhill. Now Willis in transition. She just launched it cross court. I mean, I think she had designs where she was wanting to go with it, but once she lost the handle and gathered it in, I think she pushed the panic button a bit.
Yeah, let loose and out of bounds and an unforced turnover. Pressure really starting to mount here.
Clarissa Gibson comes back for the Cougars. Chloe Custis, 6 points in the first half. Relatively quiet in this quarter. Be interesting to see as her career progresses. Just a sophomore, if they get her a little closer to the bucket once she gets stronger. Say with that length, she could cause some matchup issues. Foul is on North Putnam. Neither team really close to a bonus opportunity. 4th team foul on South Putt, 2 on the Cougars. Custis has it knocked away.
Had a good thought, but errant pass.
Cougars 27-18 is what they trail it by. Little arm in the back and no call. Miller loses the handle. Vanderhill with a step around, threw it up too long.
Wow,
and a foul on the rebound.
Mark, surprised there was not a charging foul. Hannah Sims did a really good job for the Cougars getting back defensively.
Yeah, I think Brian Gardner would like an explanation for that as well. They rarely like the explanation. I like that move in the open court. She's got to finish that.
Yeah,
Mike.
she's got to
finish it. I think she expected a double team and spun away from it just a little too soon. But again, freshman
Miller, nice
that's
job.
a freshman. 8 points for Bree Miller.
She's pretty darn good. Nice job going right to the rim over the top of Cruz, number 24.
Jared Duff would like more of that, I think, and they trim the lead to 7 now with under a minute to play in the quarter. I mean, you see that Jared Duff has something to build here. Been doing it over the past couple of years. Good looking three-pointer won't go. Alex Bratcher, that Mike, you don't like misses, but you know if you take that shot within the flow of the offense as she did there, it's not
okay.
a bad look.
Yep, not a bad look. Not when you're shooting 27, 28%, and you got a lot of space there, which increases the percentage.
So a 30-second timeout going to be taken by South Putnam. So what do we know about the boys matchup that we'll have following the completion of this one, Mike?
I think it'll be interesting because North Putnam, for the first time in many years, earned themselves a sectional win before faltering in sectional championship to Cloverdale. Cloverdale was the same team that knocked out South Putnam in the first round of sectional. What I like about South Putnam is I think Alan Plunkett might be the best returning pure shooter in the area. He is phenomenal. If he can get some things going for South Putnam's ball club with Thomas Fanning, a really well-improved point guard, they might be something special. On the other hand, North Putnam has some pieces on their own, and Pickle, the big kid at 6'4", 6'5", if he can make a presence inside, we're going to have a real good ball game tonight.
North Putnam won sectionals in 2000, 01, 02, and 03, won regionals in 02 and 03. They play in sectional 44 in 2A with Cloverdale, Webo, South Putnam, Cascade, and Monrovia. Very, very similar to what you'll hear us describe about South Putnam as we work our way through this quarter, which has just a half a minute remaining in it. Bree Miller. Again, we think if she involves herself around the bucket, we think good things are going to happen for her ball club.
Yes, because at this point in time, South Putnam doesn't match up very well with her, although right now Jersey Cruz about the same size as post up, although they switch.
Good look from underneath the bucket. She threw it up just a little too hard, did Bree Miller. Missed opportunity for them to cut the lead to 5. We'll see if South Putnam can capitalize now. Time winding down in period number 3. Almost stolen away by Willis. Good look down low. Vanahill, no. And a foul on the floor. Not in the act of shooting, with just a tick over a second left in the quarter.
And Peyton Lyons, number 15, may pick up the foul, but frankly, I like the way she's playing defense. She's doing a good job helping out for the Cougars in a half court.
So again, that foul was on the floor. Quick inbounds. They won't get a shot off. Third quarter action has come and gone. 7-point lead for South Putnam, 27-20. Fourth quarter action after this timeout.
Worried your family isn't protected at home? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eShield Security Solutions. With Endeavor eShield Security Solutions, peace of mind comes from knowing your family and your business are safe. We also provide internet, television, wireless, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
With the pit man taking a break, Mike Woliski here swaying to Rick Astley on the PA. Never going to give you up. That's your ringtone, isn't it, Mike? Sectional success for South Putnam. A lot of late back-to-back sectional wins, 17 and 18. Won sectionals 04 and 05, and in 1982, as we mentioned, they're in that sectional 44 with Cloverdale, Webo, South Putt, Cascade, and Monrovia.
Well, right now, this one, it's anybody's game. If the Cougars can get some buckets here, we're going to have a very interesting fourth quarter.
And Willis, after 7 first-quarter points, has been held all but in check. She spent most of the second quarter on the bench with fouls and almost an and one.
Give Kinsey Young a lot of credit there, number 11, for clearing out some space to get that pass down on the post. She worked very hard to gain position there for the Cougars, and she's rewarded with the foul shots.
But they have to convert. And both teams have been absolutely miserable from the free throw line. Again, boys action next. Cap off this Putnam County doubleheader tonight. Gets the back half to fall, so she rewards herself, but not fully. Her first point trims the lead to 6. North Putnam hanging around.
And North Putnam is content to get in that half court and then pressure the ball.
Offensive foul. You've been looking for that charge call.
Yep.
Most of the night, you finally get it.
And Hannah Sims, once again, doing a good job for the Cougars, setting that one up, doing a very good job with her body on a defensive standpoint in the half court for the Cougars.
Ryan Gardner asking for an explanation. Again, not in agreement with the direction the officiating has taken over the past couple of minutes of this ball game. Well, I thought Willis had baseline on the crossover. Nice job of the double team shutting her off. Miller wants to go strong to the bucket, but lost the handle. Scramble for the loose ball. It'll be held up again.
I thought maybe Miller might want to reset the offense. Instead, she tried to take the ball by herself and dribble, knock it off of her leg. As long as they can set up in the half course, get her down on the post. Number 35, Bree Miller, they've got a chance to put points on the board. And right now, Mark, they are not pressuring full court defensively, letting the Eagles get into their half court.
Look at those quick hands by Kyla Willis. Yep. South Putt's able to avoid the theft, though. Both teams dialing up the defense down the stretch of the fourth quarter of this one. 6-point lead, South Putnam. Pretty patient offensive set. A pretty aggressive reach by Young. Knocked the ball away and no call.
One thing's for certain, South Putnam is not looking to shoot that perimeter shot. They're looking either to hold on to the basketball or get a better shot inside.
They've not needed the perimeter much. A good look inside by Vanderhill and a great weak side rebound by Hannah Sims. See Miller trying to find room in the paint. She's asking for a screen and can't get one. Lions with a skip pass. Shot thrown up in traffic. Miller gets away with the shove, gets the offensive rebound, kicks it out, and Kyla Willis with a misfire.
Wow, jump ball's called. It looked like for a minute there may have been a foul as Mahoney had the ball wrapped up in her arms.
So Brian Gardner not liking the direction this thing is taking. So he takes a timeout with his club in front by 6, and we'll be back.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
Had Carmen Hurley with me a couple of nights ago at McCutcheon as they took on West Lafayette in high school wrestling. And folks, I'm telling you, for those of you that are a novice, maybe you don't know much about it, if you see that the high school in your community is hosting a wrestling meet, especially these tournaments around the holiday, go watch it, but certainly mark it on your calendar if you're a fan of athletics at all to go to the state championship at Bankers Life Fieldhouse later this year.
Yeah, quite a few of the wrestlers in the state of Indiana are tops in the country, and that means that a lot of these Power 5 conferences are going to get a lot of great kids.
Miller with a nice move off the with the crossover, but she threw it off the bottom of the bucket. No reason. I know the lead's just 6, but still no reason for South Putnam to force the issue, which they attempted to do there, and Bree Miller can't gather it in before it goes out of bounds. I think that Brian Gardner right now would classify his ball club's second half effort as just good enough to keep the lead.
Yep.
North Putnam's defense making things difficult for them offensively and limiting them to one possession and one opportunity.
And that means they have not shot the ball very well. And Young, number 11, doing another good job of getting the rebound inside.
The officials suggesting to Brian Gardner that maybe, just maybe, they've heard enough. He's been working on them a while now. And, he wasn't aggressive in that conversation, just basically suggesting, let's play basketball. So we'll see, now that they're in the bonus the rest of the way, if North Putnam can capitalize. First one with the opportunity to do that, Young at the line right now, and no shot. Lane violation.
Yeah, Bree Miller jumped in the lane just a little bit. This youngster, leading scorer on her team at 9.3 points a game. Still plenty of time left on the clock to get back in this ball game.
Two possessions from tying it. Look to be content to work the perimeter for now. I say that they make the entry pass to the elbow. I like the way they pass the basketball. Vanderhill was a 3 that could have not sealed it, but certainly gave them a little momentum. They've done a nice job defensively on Kyla Willis.
And not only that, but they have not allowed North Putnam to get any shots in transition at the bucket. They've been able to slow them down after a lot of their missed shots.
Willis had a wide open 3 and passed it up and got a little too lazy on the pass. Good transition basketball. Vanderhill and 1.
Great execution there in transition, something that the Cougars have not been able to do. The Eagles are able to flourish and finish.
Look at this strong move.
Vanderhill again bothered with an ankle injury in the opening loss against Cloverdale, where she had to sit back. She's an important offensive factor for this ball club.
Converts 7 for Lexi Vanderhill, giving them a boost here in the fourth quarter now and bumps the lead back up to 9.
The good news, Mark, for North Putt is the fact that there are 18 fouls on South Putnam right now in this ball game. So draw a foul, go to the line, and after the next one, you got a double bonus.
Yeah, you have to convert. The last time they went to the free throw line, they were not able to convert. A lane violation. Now off the missed shot. South Putnam with the steal and transition. Vanderhill again forces the issue.
Miller, the freshman, again doing a really good job getting back defensively. Also fronting the post down low on Cruz.
Well, they do attack the bucket. Good defense by North Putnam. 3 white shirts collapsed as they went to the basket. (9-6) North Putnam. A flurry by Kyla Willis was the difference. South Putt led at halftime 18-14 and 27-20 at the end of the third.
Baumgartner was available to get the rebound, and Lyons just stepped in and fouled her. Take a look at this one right over the top. Here's Baumgartner. Contact was made.
Macy Baumgartner was 1 of 2 earlier in the ball game from the free throw line. Keeps the ball club's advantage at 9. Misses both. So, empty possession for South Putnam. See if North Putnam takes advantage. Willis with a drive, throws it up in traffic.
Tough chance for a little point guard going in among the trees.
South Putt, transition, missed 3, rebound to Willis. She forces it up, throws it up in traffic, got it to fall. 9 for Willis.
She found a window and maybe some momentum to get back in the game, down by 7.
Yep, 7-point advantage for South Putt, and they have the basketball. Nice entry pass. Good recognition, kicking it back out. Finding Brianna Eagle, but she misfires. Willis going to wisely settle things down a bit at the 3-minute mark. To Miller. The kick. 3.
Wow.
Finally.
Wow. Tennis finally. Yeah, finally.
1 of 7.
This is going to be interesting here.
30-26. Brian Gardner says maybe we need to settle down just a little bit. Here's what these respective teams have coming up. Sullivan comes a-calling to North Putnam on December the 7th. It's a doubleheader weekend as they'll turn around and go to Park Heritage. Indianapolis International on the 10th, then Northview on the 14th, Riverton Park on the 15th, and then 18th, Monrovia, the 20th, North Montgomery. Then a tournament over the holidays at Speedway, talking about North Putnam. For the South Putnam Eagles at Clay City on December the 4th and the 7th, Greencastle, Owen Valley on the 10th, at West Vigo on the 14th, and Cascade December 20th, Monrovia the 27th. That's the Bulldogs holiday tournament. Then they'll get a break until they start off the second half of the season, January 4th, against the Sullivan Golden Arrows.
Good help by Tennis. Nice help.
South Putnam, 4-point lead and the basketball. Ill-advised shot controlled by North Putnam.
One of the things about North Putnam with such a young team, the arrow is up. They are really good for a young ball club, up and coming.
I like the freshman for sure. She's one of them. She threw it up just a little short, did Bree Miller, but hustles back after it. Kicks it out.
Wow.
Shot put up by Bailey Osborne.
Osborne averaging just 3.3 points a ball game, drills one.
30-28. In transition, forced up by Chloe Custis. Late jump ball call. And it stays with North Putnam, or South Putnam rather.
And again, just effort on the defensive end right now by the home-standing Cougars, making some plays. Defensively, Osborne again on the floor, keeping the ball alive.
Capson Vanderhill return for South Putnam. Eagles will inbound it with a 2-point lead. Good look. Point blank miss. Dennis in transition. Throws it up in traffic and it's tied. 5 points in the quarter for Dana Tennis, and we're tied at 30 with under 2 to play. Pressure coming from North Putnam. South Putnam in transition.
Didn't see the pressure in the first 3 quarters from North Putnam. All of a sudden, things begin to change.
This has not been a strong quarter offensively for South Putnam. Not at all. Credit North Putnam's defense with a lot of that. Seeing if the experience from South Putnam can take over down the stretch here. It was 27-20. The lead got up to 9 in this quarter before North Putnam goes on a bit of a run and ties it up at 30 with about 90 seconds left in regulation.
Not much of an inside game right now for the Eagles.
Vanderhill, Bratcher working the perimeter. That was a deep 3, and I don't think Brianna Eagold is Brian Gardner's option.
And Osborne again, number 13, blocks out and gets another rebound in this basketball game.
Hannah Sims. You have to find Willis here, don't you, to handle it anyway?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jared Duff feels the same way. He's going to take a timeout and leave it right here. North Putnam, South Putnam. Boys follow.
Speaking of the boys, in last year's matchup in the Putnam County basketball tournament at Greencastle High School, North Putnam was rolling along in that basketball game, Mark, winning by over 20 points in the ball game, and all of a sudden, slowly but surely, South Putnam got in the ball game, and Alan Plunkett knocks down a driver in the lane at the last second to win it by a point. These two ball clubs are both heading in the right direction. It'll be interesting to see this battle tonight, but right now, this is going down to the wire.
Jared Duff said they needed to do a good job of defending dribble penetration. In this half, I think they've done that.
Done it.
He said it's also vital that they own the boards defensively, and I think by and large they've done that, especially in this half. He said we want loose rebounds, we want loose balls. Mission accomplished in this half anyway. Those are the thoughts of Jared Duff coming into the ball game.
And for a young team, they're finishing well. Impressed by Miller, number 35.
They hung around,
really
Mike. And sometimes that's all it takes. You just hang around. You play through when you're not playing particularly well. Put yourself in a position to have a chance at the end. That's what they've done.
Yes, and everybody plays hard. Everybody plays defense, one possession at a time. They've been able to do it. Good pass.
And look who's wide open for the easy deuce. Breen Miller.
Tennis gets the
double
assist.
figures with 10. Tennis, after horrible shooting in the first half and early in the third quarter, has come up large down the stretch now. 2-point lead for the Cougars, under a minute to play.
The Cougars have extended their defense.
Foul on the entry pass to Caitlin Katz. Check that. Timeout on the floor. Ryan Gardner not happy with the lack of offensive flow. On the entry pass, they held on to the basketball.
They still want to work things inside out if they can and get some good looks. And as I mentioned, the Cougars have done a better job defensively, both full court pressure and when they get in the half court, putting pressure on the basketball, making it that much more difficult for South Putnam to set up offensively. And in this ball game tonight, as we've seen it, South Putnam has not shot very well at all.
Really good crowd continuing to file in. As we mentioned, Jared Duff providing some stability in this program in his third year. He went 1-22 his first year, 8-15 a year ago. They're currently 2-5, but they went through a stretch where in 2016, Kevin Casaro was the coach, was here a year at 3-20. 5-17 was Jim Spencer, and then back-to-back seasons 13-14 with Curtis Lawrence of 4-15 and 4-17. Duff comes to North Putnam after spending 4 years guiding the Fortunes at Greencastle, in which that program saw steady improvement.
Well, this ball club he's got is young, and they can be very good by the end of the year because of the fact they've got so many youngsters as freshmen on the court starting to mature.
A good look on the inbounds. Custis gets it right back. Battle for the loose ball.
I think Tennis might have called a timeout, maybe a bench timeout.
Yep.
Okay.
So North Putnam gets the possession. Jared Duff says, what do I have left? I'll take whatever I have left. They say you've got a 30 left, so that's what he takes.
And almost anything goes in this basketball game because when South Putnam puts their mind to it defensively and ramps up the pressure tonight, North Putnam's had some trouble getting the ball across the timeline or getting the basketball into their offense.
Mentally, emotionally, precarious time for both of these ball clubs. First of all, it's a county rival. Secondly, as young as you are, if you're North Putnam, trailing most of the way, you come back and win this, but what a boost this is to your level of confidence. On the other hand, South Putnam with a record of 4-3, they control most of this ball game. If they don't close this out, it could take them a bit to recover from it.
No doubt about this. Great ball game so far by North Putnam. They averaged only 35.8 points per game coming in here. They're keeping the tempo the way they want it.
Pressure comes from South Putnam, but they're able to get it in. Anna Sims, and a little bump. But again, This is only effective for North Putnam if they are able to convert from the free throw line, something they have not been able to do all night long.
Hannah Sims averaging 3.8 points a game. These are the biggest free throws of the night.
Cougars +2. Shuffling continues as Macy Baumgartner comes in. This is usually the point in the time when coaches go with offensive defensive substitutions. Sims, no.
Nice rebound by Vanderhill underneath.
Vanderhill to Bratcher. No reason to hurry.
No.
Just no reason to hurry here. 20 seconds left, plenty of time to run your offense. Close to a 5-second count. I'm surprised they didn't get it. Pretty good defense.
Osborne is doing such a great job defensively on Baumgartner. I think South Putnam would love to get the ball in her hands, number 23, but number 13 for North Putnam is doing a tremendous job defensively, Mark.
Yeah, I think that Jared Duff's got to be pleased with how well his ball club has played, especially in this fourth quarter, Mike.
Yep, these youngsters are starting to grow up for the North Putnam Cougars. Now, again, they're playing on their home court, and they lost the first matchup with South Putt, 56-39. But again, that may be reflective of the fact he's got a lot of youngsters, and particularly in leadership positions, handling the basketball. Willis, the freshman, number 25, has played an outstanding game as this one has progressed.
Busy schedule for girls tonight. Some of the bigger games: Ben Davis at Lawrence North, Bloomington North at Southport, Bloomington South at Terre Haute North. A mid-conference matchup as Carmel travels to Warren Central. Lawrence Central at home with Center Grove. Elsewhere around the state, it's Edgewood at Cloverdale, Eminence at Greenwood Christian, Concordia, North, Northrop, Wayne, Lewis, Dwinger, South. They're all in action up at Fort Wayne tonight. Franklin Central's at Brownsburg. Whiting's at home with Hanover Central. Griffith at Lake Station. Indian Creek at Owen Valley. LaPorte at Valpo, and Lebanon at Crawfordsville. One other game, Madison at Jeffersonville. So as you hear, rivalries all over the state of Indiana tonight in girls high school basketball. Clock down to 10. Three-pointer from the corner is an air ball, and a foul on the rebound.
And Baumgartner is going to get a foul here. She's going to draw the foul inside. She did a really good job standing up straight inside and putting her arms up, and she's going to go to the foul line, Mark. Now look at number 23 right there. Got fouled from behind by one of the Cougars.
But again, can they convert? Something neither team has been able to do with any consistency tonight. 0 of 2. She missed the front half of a one-and bonus and hit the back half of a two-shot foul. Her ball club trails by 2.
It looked good. Good rotation there. Good foul through.
This is the big one. Short. Travel. Couldn't keep their feet. Now it becomes difficult.
5.7 seconds left.
Let's see what Brian Gardner dials up here.
Look for Caitlin Capps, number 33, to try to go for the basketball with a screen here.
North Putnam 1-point lead, 5.7 seconds left. Deep inbound. That was a quick shot, no good. Weak side rebound controlled by Lyons, and she's fouled. Officials saying no. Time has not expired. That's a good piece of officiating. She will get free throws. That's what I always find funny. The official walked over and said 0.6. Does he know that for sure? Any way that he knows that for sure?
Well, it's a good mathematical guess here.
But I will say this, right call, because they had time left on the clock.
Yeah, there was definitely time on the clock. And
double bonus, and she misfires on the first attempt. So This is not a bad timeout by Jared Duff. I think what he's going to tell his ball club is, look, I don't care what happens on this shot. I don't care what happens. Do not foul. No pressure, nothing. Yeah. Because, I mean, essentially what? You're looking at a catch-and-shoot opportunity. That's it. And I'm not sure that there's anybody on South Putnam that can get the ball off and throw it 3/4 of the length of the floor.
It's going to be difficult. Obviously, the percentages are against them, but I do think at this point what Coach Duff might be suggesting is to intentionally miss this free throw. So they'll have to scramble for the ball. Instead of, if you make it, then at least they have a chance to set up, maybe throw the ball half court.
I would never be confident doing that, because if you tell them to miss it, what are they going to do?
They're going to make it.
That's right. Yeah. But to your point, that's a great point.
There she is.
Because there's just, I don't think there's any way that I will say this. You will see this on SportsCenter tonight if it happens.
Well, she moved over far to the left side of the lane. Here we go.
Yep. How about that? How about it? That has to be a horribly disappointing loss for the South Putnam Eagles. But what a recovery by Jared Duff. And we'll talk more about this when we come back.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Keep up to date with your favorite high school, college, and semi-professional teams on the ISC Sports app. Download it today from the App Store, Google Play, or on Roku. The ISC Sports Network. Local lives here.
Worried your family isn't protected at home? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eShield Security Solutions. With Endeavor eShield Security Solutions, peace of mind comes from knowing your family and your business are safe. We also provide internet, television, wireless, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit WeEndeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Player of the game is Bree Miller, so it makes sense that she is involved in our play of the game, brought to you by eShield Security, providing security protection for your home or business, powered by quality Honeywell products. Endeavor eShield helps protect what you cherish most. Visit www.weendeavor.com for more information. Here she battles for the rebound, and look at the end result, Mike.
That's just effort on the half of Bree Miller to get the basketball, driving it out to the right wing, and Osborne knocks it down. She didn't shoot the ball particularly well tonight, but that one fell through. As we take a look at this lefty, right on, dead on. And that's just effort by Miller keeping the ball alive. Great job of this freshman.
Bree Miller scored 10 for North Putnam tonight. Kyla Willis had 9. Bailey Osborne was 6. Dana Tennis with 5. She got hot late for sure. For South Putnam, 14. Alex Bratcher led the way for them. 7 points. Vanna Hill, Custis was 6. Capps and Baumgartner with 2 apiece. At the end of one, it was 9-6 North Putnam. South Putnam led at the break 18-14, went on a bit of a run, led 27-20 at the end of 3, led by 9 at the start of the 4th, but North Putnam comes storming back. They win at 32-31. South Putnam evens up at 4-4. North Putnam improves to 3-5. Again, your final score, North Putnam versus South Putnam, 32-31. Don't forget, boys action coming up in just a few minutes. The broadcast brought to you by Boca. Grab your boats and get wet. By eShield, providing security protection for your home and business. And by eTex, ready to help you with all of your computer and technology needs. Rejoin us shortly. For Mike Malinsky, this is Mark Janes.